such a sweetheart. You are. You're such a sweetie. Good girl. Say hello. Hi, everybody. My name's Mawenzi. I am a little over 2 years old, and I love to snuggle, even though I'm a porcupine.
Today, I want you to get nose to nose with a porcupine. As you saw, this is Mawenzi, and I want to take you on a journey from her head to her toes, all the way to her quills, as I share some fun facts about this sometimes misunderstood, but absolutely amazing creature. As you can see, her nose is going wild, smelling all of the scents around, and that's because porcupines use their sense of smell more so than their eyes to be able to get around, as well as their sense of hearing. So you'll see their nose moving, you'll see their ears that look somewhat human-like, taking in all of their surroundings because their eyes aren't great, mainly because they're nocturnal. Yes, they love to explore all of their surroundings, primarily at night. However, they'll come out during the day and play with us, but they are a nocturnal creature by nature. You'll also see their whiskers, and these are absolutely amazing. Think of how long your dog's or your cat whiskers are, and then look how absolutely long a porcupine's whiskers are, because they help use that sense of feeling to be able to understand their surroundings. As we work down, you'll see their mouth, but just a little bit. But no, there are 20 teeth inside that beautiful mouth. So 4 teeth in the front, the incisors, 2 on top, 2 on bottom, and then 16 grinding teeth. The beautiful thing about those front teeth is they have a hard enamel on the front and a softer dentine in the back. So as they continue to chew, and they must continue to chew because their teeth are continuously growing, kind of like their toenails, just like ours as well. And as they continue to grow, they have to chisel them down. And as they eat food, they'll chisel down the back, that softer dentine, and the hard enamel will stay, creating a sharp tooth for them. Now we'll continue to go down the porcupine, and you'll see their beautiful feet. A porcupine's feet are fascinating, mainly because they have 4 toes in the front and 5 toes in the back. You can see here, it's just a little nub, so that doesn't really count. But then you see 1, 2, 3, 4 toes in the front, and then on the back, 5 toes. And you can see these are a little wet because she's sweating, she's outside. Porcupines need to be in warm conditions, so they don't get to go outside unless it's 55 degrees or warmer. So it's a warm day today, so she is sweating through her paws. And you can see these are freshly trimmed. You can check out that video as well to see how well Mawenzi did. As we work our way further discovering and getting up close with this beautiful creature, I want to show you their fur. And porcupines have 2 types of fur. They have long fur, which mainly covers the back half of their body forward, and that grows in tufts of 5 to 8, as you can see here as I go ahead and rake back her fur. You can see how it really grows, which is absolutely fascinating. It's not like ours where it just grows in one by one, but in tufts of 5 to 8. And then there is an underfur, and that underfur actually grows in between the quills. So let's talk about the piece that everyone wants to talk about, those quills. So they have a couple different types of quills. The ones furthest out are going to be known as the guard hairs because they help guard the porcupine and help it figure out where the predator is. It's similar to feeling with those long whiskers. It's going to feel with those guard hairs. And if a predator they feel back there, they'll go ahead and swing their tail in that direction where you see those long quills. And of course, they have different size quills that go in different directions. And the fascinating thing about how a porcupine's quill works is if it strikes something, the predator, and it feels tension, it pushes back into the porcupine's body. But of course, the porcupine doesn't want to hurt itself, so the ligament breaks loose and the quill falls out. And porcupines naturally lose their quills, similar to how we lose our hair. But the most fascinating quill is this quill in the back, the one that rattles. Go ahead and take a listen. So that is a warning sign that, hey bud, you're getting a little too close. You need to back up. And so I had the opportunity to get up close and personal, just like you're doing today. And I was able to see how those quills truly work. And a lot of it is discovering new cool things. So these quills start out growing similar to any other quill. And then the top part will break off and it will turn into a hollow goblet that it will allow to be able to make this rattle noise. And as you can see here, it's still connected to the porcupine and that quill-like formation instead of the hollowness. So check this out. I think it is absolutely amazing to really see how the quills work on a porcupine and not be afraid because they truly are amazing creatures. The interesting thing about a porcupine's quill is that depending on the length, it can take 2 to 9 months to be able to grow back. So when it sticks something or it falls out naturally, it has to be able to grow each one back, taking 2 to 9 months. So that's why they have multiple quills facing different directions to always be able to protect themselves. The last bit about their fur is if you notice on the top of Mawenzi, she has a white mane. That white mane means she's an African crested porcupine. You'll also see a Cape porcupine that looks very similar. A Cape porcupine is going to live in Central and Southern Africa, whereas the African crested porcupine, as we have here, actually lives in Northern Africa as well as parts of Europe. And so we also have something called the Indian crested porcupine, which obviously lives in another area, and it has a black mane instead of white. So if you go to the zoo, you go somewhere and you see a porcupine, look at the color of the crest, and that will help you understand what type of porcupine it is. Fascinating, I know. Now that you've had a chance to get up close and personal with a porcupine, going all the way from that cute little fuzzy nose down to the somewhat threatening quills, I hope you look at porcupines with a new perspective and realize African crested porcupines like Mawenzi include one of 26 species of porcupine. There are 11 Old World porcupine in which African crested are classified. Old World meaning they are from Eurasia and Africa. And then there are 15 species of New World porcupine, which are in North and South America. And the main difference are New World porcupines have barbed quills, Old World do not. And if you do happen to get stuck, it's going to be a lot easier to remove the quills if it is by an Old World porcupine. But hopefully that doesn't happen to you. If you ever get the chance to get this close to a porcupine, I hope you will really sit there and marvel at the beautiful intricacies of this amazing creature and not be too freaked out about it shooting quills at you. Because, after all, a porcupine can't shoot quills. If you learned a thing or two about porcupines today, please consider subscribing below for more adventures of porcupines as well as outdoor adventures and fun with pets. I'm Rachel with Adventurous Heart, and awesome adventures await. So go out there and find yours today.